My name's Abdi Suleiman and I studied philosophy at the University of Sheffield. I work as the Political Affairs Manager for Friends of the Earth. So day-to-day in my job, I try to think of ways that we can get MPs, we can get lords, we can get other people involved in politics to care as much as possible about the environment, about ecology, and about basically trying to make sure that we give the best version of the world to the next generation. Everything I thought of, I wanted to know why. And the more you keep asking why and keep going beyond the question, you end up in the philosophy of that thing.
My name is Dr. Minna School and I'm a Director for Philosophy, Religion and Ethics in the Philosophy Department. I'm really proud and excited about the things that go on in teaching philosophy at Sheffield. So it's really vibrant and diverse community of academics, and we also get great range of students with such wide areas of interest in philosophy.
Hi, I'm Ella and I study English Literature and Philosophy and I'm a third year. I chose Sheffield for the wide variety of things that you can choose in your courses. So I do a dual module, which means I can choose from the best from both departments. The wide variety of stuff that you can choose from is just amazing. So you've got the SU, you've got things like Swap Shop inside of it, all the different career service guides that you've got in there. There's so many of clubs and societies.
My name is Charlotte Flores and I studied philosophy and politics at the University of Sheffield for my undergrad. Interestingly enough, I didn't really get much exposure to philosophy because I was in an American high school, and then I did a dual credit class at my local university in philosophy, and I really loved it. I had always known that I loved asking questions and I was always very curious, but I didn't really know that there was a subject that could let me explore everything I was interested in. And then when I saw the structure of the course at the University of Sheffield, I knew that it would be kind of a perfect mix of being able to do what I wanted to do and also combine it with politics as well.
When I studied at Sheffield, one of the ways it really helped me in terms of my employment prospects and kind of what I went on to do was I was student union president, so I learned an incredible amount about working with lots of other people, about trying to carry out people's objectives, about trying to win over people, trying to convince people, trying to work with power and things like that. And actually the experience of really being involved in the students' union gave me a lot of the skills that I still use to this day.
The university does an awful lot in terms of opening students' horizons, introducing them to new types of careers and employment that they perhaps did not consider before. The university has lots of events where people with exciting and interesting jobs come back to meet students and talk to them, for instance, at the student union. We have similar events in the philosophy department where our own alumni come back to talk to students and help them to find exciting career paths, find ideas and areas of employment where they can put their skills and interests into good use.
So there's so much that you can do. So in my first year I did philosophy of sex, which was really interesting, and then my second year philosophy of feminism, and then third year doing philosophy of psychology and global justice. And it's just, there's so much you can do within the department. And the professors are really good and the lectures are really engaging, and it's just great.
But I think there's so many things you can do with a philosophy degree, and I personally found something I was passionate about, which was always like sustainability, animal welfare, human equality, and I was able in philosophy to find niches that fit all of my interests.
I think one thing that's fantastic, which I personally didn't do and I really regret doing, is the teaching in schools, and it's like an extra bit that you can do alongside your degree, where you go into a school that might not be used to doing philosophy and teach the kids philosophy, which is a great way of learning yourself and expanding the subject to other parts of the city.
In terms of career advice, I'd say actually enjoy your studies. There's something incredible about being able to spend a couple of years where you're not having to meet KPIs, you're not having to think about the objectives of an organization. You're just able to really study, read, research, get your head around what things you agree with, what things you disagree with, what interests you, what doesn't interest you. Actually, no matter where the future goes, whether you end up working in AI or you end up working in some other form of technology that doesn't even exist today, that you're actually already preset for that because you kind of really spent that time focusing on yourself and building yourself up into the person that you want to be and having kind of the values and the ideas and the worldview that you want to have.